Greetings, friends, and happy new moon. This year's Aries new moon is on Sunday, April 15th at 6:57 p.m. Pacific time. And before I dive into the spread and talk about the chart for this upcoming new moon, I want to say a little bit about two key cards that can help you understand the general opportunities that are available to you right now. First of all, we just 2 weeks ago had a Libra full moon, and the adjustment card represents Libra. The signature of this recent full moon is really strong. I've been feeling it so much, and what this card represents is a new quality of your ability to connect with inner truth and to rely on your inner truth and to trust your inner truth. Feeling emotional right now, even as I speak these words, because this gift and ability and strength and trust, which we've been building over our lifetime and have really been supported in the last 6 or 7 months of lunar cycles, this quality of strength of inner truth. We are going to use this alignment with inner truth now in this new lunar cycle to go beyond what we've ever even imagined possible. There's an incredible chart speaking, the astrology chart for the new moon is speaking of amazing new potential. And what's required of us in order to step into this new potential is our ability to trust our inner truth. So we've all been building these muscles, and that's why I'm showing this card right now to remind you of the signature of the last couple of weeks that are anchoring this ability and your willingness to trust. Trust in non-physical, trust in your consciousness, trust in your awareness, and know that you are participating in something new that's being born. The card for the Aries new moon is the Emperor, and the Emperor speaks to the strength and fire of vitality and courage and willpower and confidence and pioneering spirit, the willingness to forge ahead and explore new territory and reach deep into yourself and align with the even new qualities of yourself, new gifts and new strengths and new potentials, and trust that you will be able to participate with others to contribute and bring your dreams to form. Now, there's another card that I work with really closely with the Emperor at this time of year, and this is the Queen of Wands. She's the court card for the month of Aries and for Cardinal Fire, and she represents a really important quality of this courage and will and vitality and commitment to moving forward, because she represents your inner courage and your inner strength and your inner commitment to aligning with your truth and to aligning with your light and your willingness to let go of what no longer serves you. And another big piece that's really important with this new moon is your willingness to claim all the parts of yourself. No longer any fear of mistakes or errors or shadow. The Queen of Wands represents full illumination and full power, and empowerment means claiming everything, including what we may perceive of as mistakes or errors. And that's a super interesting signature of this new moon. The astrology chart for the new moon is a pattern of a bowl in the perfect shape of a trapezoid, half of a sextile. It represents incredible form and an alignment of a foundation of support for moving forward. And in addition to this message, I really encourage you this month, if you don't already do so, to go to seattleastrology.org and read Stephen Schroyer's article going more in depth with the chart and the teachings of this month, because this reading is in alignment with that article and with those teachings, and it's such an important month. I really invite you to learn more about some of the specifics of the astrology of this coming lunar cycle. So The astrology chart is a bowl pattern, and that signifies a very strong container, and the rim or edge of the container, the support of the container, is Venus and Jupiter. And Venus and Jupiter are working together to hold a strong emotional coherence and a coherence of consciousness and a coherence of abundant prosperity of what's possible. And that is all to say that there is a shadow element that's available for healing right now. And by shadow, I mean, when I was talking about the Queen, I said there's a quality right now that's really important in claiming our power and claiming what's possible, of being willing to claim all the parts of ourself. So there's a very special and powerful signature in this new moon that has to do with the quality of failure and learning new gifts about failure. The Seven of Discs in the Thoth deck is called failure. I worked with this card for the last couple of days and with teachings that we've been exploring in Mystery School, because I knew the signature of overcoming past failures in order to move into something new. And there's a specific teaching I'd like to share with you that has been really healing for those of us who've worked with this in our school community. And that is the progression of the Six of Discs to the Seven of Discs to the Eight of Discs. And I'll just tell you the story now. When we're in a state of failure, or a perception of failure, or an experience of failure, we're perceiving something not working out. And sometimes it's based on the past, sometimes it's based on worry about the future. But whatever the state is, it's a state of fear that something that we hold dear is not going to work. When we understand that this state of the seven, which is transcendence, it's transcending into a new reality. The state of the Seven of Discs moves from the Six of Discs, a success, which is illumination of a new possibility, to a perception of failure, to the flowering of the possibility. So Eight of Discs, called prudence, is the flowering of the tree. This is a really deep teaching that helps us understand that the perception of failure is merely a sequence that happens naturally when something new is coming to form. And the teaching in this new moon chart is all about this quality of progression and the fact that in any moment of perceived failure, we have the option to regroup and reconnect with alignment through inner truth and hold curiosity for a new creative impulse to refine or improve or shift, or simply wait for the flowering which is to come. So the reason I'm bringing this forward before I dive into the spread is that this is a really key principle that we will be able to receive on a very deep level this month. And the astrology chart points to the fact that we really can manifest beyond what we have ever considered possible when we are ready and able to accept this wisdom teaching. Failure is just a misperception of a state of something that's not yet born, something that still is transcending. One of the teachings we work with this card is the image of seeds being buried and germinating, and the appearance of destruction when seeds break apart, and yet that's what happens when something new is being born. So not to jump to conclusions when something appears to have failed, but to hold curiosity for what needs to be tended and harvested and pruned and cared for in order for the seed to flower. So I really wanted to bring that forward because some of you watching this video have worked with this teaching, but I know that even if you're familiar with the cards, you may not have worked with this sequence before, and I really recommend it. It's made a big difference in my life in understanding the progression of co-creation. So now let me dive into the spread, and I don't know if you noticed, but behind me in the center of the spread is the Seven of Discs failure. And on the right, this is the position of mind. On the right, in the position of spirit, is the Eight of Discs, prudence, the flowering of the tree. Really, I shuffled the deck. I meditated on this card for a couple of days before I pulled the spread last night. I really did shuffle, and this is what came forward. So it's, again, a huge synchronicity that this is the opportunity available to all of us right now within this coming cycle of time, that we have a chance and an opportunity to reframe past experiences of failure and any experiences of failure or fear in the present moment, so that we can be fully present. There's a huge infusion of creativity and vitality and imagination and possibility in this new moon. And that's also indicated by the Ten of Cups in the position of body. See all the fire here. This Ten of Cups is ruled by the planet Mars, and Mars rules Aries, and Mars is the energy of vitality and courage to break through limitation, to move forward. And this is Ten of Cups. In the Mars in the emotional realm is the experience of incredible fulfillment and the courage to experience fulfillment, because this is in the position of circumstances. So you're being encouraged and invited now to choose to show up. The energy of fire, this red fire of Mars and the fire of Aries and the fire of the Queen of Wands, is the choice that you have in every moment to choose courage, to choose something new. And that's where your creativity comes from. Creativity is the signature of this coming month, the creativity and imagination to step into new possibilities and new potentials. And all that's required of you right now is to pay attention when you go into fear about something, and then choose to show up. Choose to use your tools and practices to move in your heart. One of my favorite teachings and one of the wisdom tools I work with is the principle of appreciation and gratitude as the strongest and most powerful tool for shifting focus and stepping into alignment. And that's absolutely one of the teachings of the Ten of Cups. Fulfillment is the choice in the moment to choose how you feel and your perspective. And then this experience of failure can become a point of curiosity and creativity for new visions of what's possible to unfold. One of the other meanings of the position of spirit is the near future. So moving from an experience of something being challenging in your mind or in your present experience into what it could be in the future, and holding space for that, is part of the tool of this month, this coming month. So, oh my gosh, I've been really excited to bring this forward. I've been sitting with it for a day and feeling how special it is, and how we are on the verge of another threshold of new tools of co-creation, new tools of personal transformation and development, and also collective play and adventure and creation that we will do together. So I invite you now to set your intentions for this month to show up for yourself, to show up for abundance and appreciation and the beauty of what already is in your life. In the position of physicality, the Ten of Cups fulfillment or satiety is saying, pay attention to the fulfillment of what already is. Focus on what already is and know that it's your platform to create more and to experience more beyond what you've ever imagined. And again, I'm feeling emotional, and that's a signal in my body that what I'm saying or thinking is true. And so trust the platform of what is. Know you get to choose, and that's part of this willpower. You get to choose your perspective and choose what you are focusing on, so that you can learn new things about what hasn't worked and discover something new that's hidden within the seeds that are germinating. And that will lead you to be able to pre-pave into the future new creations that have perhaps never ever been before, and that will be coming forward because of your contributions and your collaboration with the collective. The final, where'd she go? I have a bunch of cards spread out here on my desk. The final card for our consideration today is the Princess of Swords, and this is a reminder to be willing. She came up recently in one of our recent spreads. It's a reminder to be willing to let go of what doesn't serve you and know that the past no longer holds you. She's rising up out of the old altar, which is actually melting away. She's committed to clarity and to heart-centered courage and commitment and vitality. And the dust and the debris of the dismantling altar will not affect her at all, because she's rising above. She's choosing to use the sword of clarity to move through and burn through in connection with what is true and what is whole and what is centered in the heart. So we're being supported, we're being held, and we are learning so much right now. And so thank you for being part of this month's new moon spread and new moon message. And I wish you a coming month of vitality and courage and inspired creation of new possibilities and new visions of what we together are bringing forward. Have a fantastic month. This is Elizabeth Schermer and the Alchemy Mystery School.